Hi, everybody. Welcome to our first Meet the Maker of 2024. I am so excited for you to meet Kasia Kay. She is one of the most prolific artists here in Chicago. I think her work is outstanding. And you're not only going to love her work, but you're going to love Kasia as well. So
I'm going to
Kasia,
cry.
she's sweet already. So I would love for you to tell our audience, how did you get started?
I always wanted to be an artist. I think as a little child, that's all I wanted to do. I knew that's all I wanted to do. It took me much, much longer because I grew up in communism. I could have gone to the art school, but I didn't. So I left. The immigration took some chunk of my life. So finally, when I landed in Chicago, I think 2 years later, I went to college, Columbia College, and I got the degree. Strangely enough, as much as I was craving to be in the studio and make art, I decided to open an art gallery. Absolutely enjoyed it for many good years of my career as an art gallery. But I was opening an art gallery always with my thought that I want to be an art curator. So that was also like intrigued in me, like that I wanted to curate. And having an art gallery, of course, you have to give solo show to artists, but I also curated a lot of group shows. And beyond that, I curated also other site-specific projects, especially during art fairs in Miami or New York. So even being a gallerista, I would always make art behind scenes. No one knew, except the closest to me people. But I would make ceramics, I would make paper-based work. And I was always scared of painting. I was so sure it's just restricted for the best of the best. And even being an art gallery, I was very rigid on what I wanted. When I closed the gallery, I decided to do something that I have never done before. At this time, I knew I wanted to be a full-time artist. And I went to the studios where I learned metal casting.
Oh my goodness.
So for 3 years, I was metal casting, making sculptures, and absolutely loved that physicality, the masculine aspect of it. And then one day I said, that's enough. Go buy some brushes and start painting too.
Wow, that's incredible.
I'm by nature very curious, very experimental. I guess I don't have fears to experiment. So,
yeah, that's great.
So that's what I do. And last 2 years, it's been just 2.5 years since I've been painting. So I dedicated my life to painting. In the meantime, before that, I curated many exhibitions, couple of exhibitions, one in New York, one in Chicago. That was after closing the gallery. So I was still doing little things like that and learning sculpture. And then, as I said, I just decided to paint and purposely pushing everything else off. No temptation to curate, no temptation to make sculpture. Because painting is a process, it's learning. And this is what it is right now.
Do you feel like you learned a lot from the artists you were curating their pieces from? And you got to see what you love, what would maybe work for you, what excites you or inspires you?
Much. A very, very famous artist who is my friend, she said, you have such great eye for finding great young artists, because that's what I was specializing in when I was a gallerista. I would just really dig out, I would do research, and many of them, even people who showed in my gallery, they were represented or were in a group show or just one-time show, they became famous.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm very happy for that.
Yeah, they've got to be sad to see you go.
That I bought their artwork for money.
Right.
Not that I'm easy on myself, my painting, but I just go through the journey. I enjoy it.
So much of what you said has just shocked me, because I can't believe you've only been painting for 2.5 years. It's amazing the depth you have, the layers you have. Like, to me, that's something that many artists, it takes years and years and years and years. And I know you were creating in a different way. And I'm sure you saw from the metalworking and from the ceramics and the paper, like what you actually need to create that depth that you want to show everyone. But they're different mediums that you're using.
Yeah, it's such a difficult medium. And I am self-learner when it comes to painting.
Wow.
I did some courses online. Never enough learning from better artists. But yeah, I just pretty much dived in. This is one of my first acrylic paintings, actually.
Okay, let's go over there. I want to talk about that. When you started in painting, you started with acrylic or oil?
Acrylic.
Okay, and why is that?
Oil was still intimidating for me, I think, because it's a harder medium.
Okay.
Yeah. This one was just a canvas, no frame, not even stretching. Was just pinned it on the wall and attacked it.
It's amazing. So what was your inspiration? Like if you're going to make your first painting, nature, I see it all.
Yeah. My intention, it's abstraction. Until I put the first few brush strokes, I don't know where I'm going. So it's a lot of editing. I select my colors, the palette, and I play around. And at some point, yes, of course, I have to start letting the consciousness to take over a little more and guide, select what I like from the painting and preserve it and erase other things or cover them up. So it's a process. It's kind of removing and adding.
It's absolutely stunning. And
Thank you.
say this all the time to our audience, if you could only get in here and see, and we'll take some pictures of this, but like all of this, like, the different colors you have going on that really give the idea that there's grasses, growing, but this is all so smart. And to think of like what's going on beyond the grass, it's absolutely stunning. I noticed these when I came in. Yes. These are taking a different spin from maybe nature. Where were you inspired by these two?
I mentioned to you earlier when I came back from holidays in the La La Land.
Which is a good place to be on holiday.
I definitely... With these, I also knew the palette. I wanted to contrast the greens again and the yellows or oranges. But I wanted to use black paint and see where it takes me because it's challenging, either white or black. There are no colors, right? And this is acrylic, but I use gel media. I use different media so they have texture. I do a lot of scratching again, removing, and, layering and imprinting something on it. I think, yes, I was definitely thinking about, how we go moody, dark in, and how we struggle with everyday life. And, we come out in LA, right? We have to help out. We're all human beings only.
Right.
So it's kind of psychological.
Yeah, they're stunning. This diptych is just so beautiful.
You.
I would love for everyone who's viewing to be able to find you, and maybe you can share like what's up and coming with some of your artwork.
Seems like I also like very gestural and free-flowing brush strokes. And the color, it reappears in some of my artwork, this or that. And there's more. It has to do with my response to violence, to shootings. Definitely.
So prevalent here in Chicago.
I spit it out. Sorry.
No.
A lot, actually.
Wonderful,
in the smaller scale work or the bigger work. And that comes subconsciously also. I just want to attack it, and I know that's what it is about.
Yeah.
I am definitely also going to try to get back a little to sculpture, which is going to be very multimedia sculpture, and also in painting, I think I'm going to start introducing more collaged in work.
I love that. Oh, well, we can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
We're so happy you were here with us today. This was wonderful.